very much, Minister. Thank you very much, Director of the Program, for the opportunity. Minister Lane Zimande, Deputy Minister of Education, Baba Manana, Vice Chancellors, Council Chairs, SRC Presidents, and all student formations present here, leaders representing important stakeholders from business, labor, traditional leaders, religious leaders, soccer, professional organizations, and sitters, and members of parliament who are here, and indeed, everyone who's participating in this gathering. Fellow South Africans, good morning to you all. We meet here today at a critical juncture for our country's higher education system. We thank all stakeholders for joining government to seek solutions to the current situation at our universities. Education is a societal issue. Government cannot work alone to find solutions. Universities cannot find a solution working alone either. We need to work together for the sake of the future as a country and as a nation. As President Nelson Mandela taught us that education is a powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. Education is the apex priority in our country. It is a powerful weapon at our disposal to change our country for the better. It is a powerful weapon to produce the kind of skills that will help us achieve socio-economic transformation and prosperity. Our universities are among the most respected all over the world. We want to draw on the collective wisdom of all present here towards finding a solution. This is not the time for grandstanding of one sector portraying itself as being better than others. It is a period of sound leadership from all of us to find lasting solutions. If we don't do that, we run the risk of a whole academic year being wasted if parents, students, university management, and all stakeholders do not act now. That is why this meeting is so important. Let me state up front that the call for free higher education for the poor is the vision of the African National Congress. We are committed to addressing the legitimate concerns of students and their families about the higher costs of higher education. We would like to give you that assurance as our stakeholders, partners, and compatriots. We have heard the call of the students loudly and clearly. We have been doing everything possible to assist students from poor households to obtain post-school education since 1994. We are, however, aware that more still needs to be done, as many more students still need assistance. While we confront challenges, it is important to acknowledge the progress that the country has made already in promoting free education for children of the poor and the working class. At the basic education level, 9 million learners now attend no-fee schools and receive free meals, while more than 10 million children from poor households are supported through the Child Support Grant. Government also subsidizes fees for children at many early childhood development centers. At the higher education level, which is what has brought us together here today, government continues to support the poorest students in our system through the consistent expansion of the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, loans and bursaries. Problems that have been stated by students about NSFAS are also acknowledged and are being attended to. Government has been responding to the call for help from students of the poor and the working class for urgent relief. We have directed significant resources towards student funding over the medium-term expenditure framework. It must be noted that tuition and residence fees did increase in 2016. Government provided 16 million rand additional funding this financial year to carry the 0% for students. Government carried these costs for all, even for those who can afford to pay, and for the sponsoring private companies. While universities are the only legal authorities for determining fees, government has recommended that fee adjustments for the 2017 academic year should not be above 8%. Government has also committed to pay the fee increases for next year on behalf of all poor, working class, and missing middle families. Those with household income of up to 600,000 per annum. This means that both NSFAS, qualifying students, and missing middle students will experience a no-fee increase in 2017. Government will pay the percentage fees adjustments. It is estimated that 75% of students will be covered by this support. At some universities, this comprises more than 90% of their student population. An additional 2.5 billion rand will need to be redirected to fund this intervention. Through these increasing commitments, government shows that it recognizes the challenges of affordability of higher learning, and that it is very serious indeed about addressing the challenges in the university sector. These are short-term strategies that enable a rapid response at this moment while looking for lasting solutions. We must allow time for this to happen so that lasting solutions will be put in place that do not, in the long term, harm our system and our country. Following a meeting with university management and students in October last year, we established a Presidential Commission on Higher Education Funding and other issues to help us find long-term solutions. The Commission should be allowed to finish its work so that it can help us find the lasting solution. And at the same time, a ministerial task team appointed by Minister Zuma is also developing a solid funding system for the future, which will enable us to support students from the missing middle to access higher education. The new model is planned for piloting in 2017, which in 12-17, with full implementation in 2018, if approved. Work is being done to find solutions. We do not agree with those who say that universities should be shut down while these solutions are being sought by government and stakeholders. We do not agree with those who say the future of our youth and the future of our country must be put on hold. We also do not agree that university infrastructure must be destroyed to send a message to government that education is too expensive in the country. The wanton destruction of university property that we have witnessed are shocking criminal acts. The problems of education funding can never justify the violence and destruction, including the loss of human life and injury. As we speak, a worker died at Wits University, while another worker is fighting for his life in hospital after being attacked by students at the University of Zululand. This is not the future we want of young people who resort to violence and intimidation to communicate what they would like to be done. We have directed police to arrest those who are using the genuine grievances of students to commit serious crimes on campuses. The right to education enshrined in our Constitution will be compromised for future generations if this horrendous destruction does not stop. These are funds that could have been directed to address funding challenges. The money must now be directed to repair infrastructure instead of increasing the capacity of our country to educate the students. South Africa has led the world in using dialogue to work towards solutions that are beneficial for the country and its people. The 0% fee increase that was implemented for this year was a decision made through listening and through talking. The establishment of the Presidential Commission to investigate the funding of higher education and to make recommendations on how the matter must be addressed was a decision made through listening and through talking. The actions taken towards developing a more equitable student funding model was also the result of dialogue. The mechanisms that government is putting in place for 2017 have come about through very real engagement with the demands of students and society. The announcement on the strategy regarding fee increase for 2017 was a decision made through consultations, talking, and through listening. It was not a decision made in haste. It was a considered decision based on the facts articulated in discourse. It was a collective decision of government built on a firm commitment to more affordable higher education. Dialogue has led to important strategies that are taking us closer where we want to be as a country. Today, We meet again because we value dialogue as a country. When we come together and talk, we find solutions. That is the culture we want our youth to adopt, as it will ensure the survival of our country and our democratic system. Indeed, that is why we are meeting today. We are doing what South Africans do best: to meet and talk and find solutions. We come together when there is a crisis, and together we find solutions constructively. What is happening on our campuses that at present has the potential to destroy our universities, but we have the power to change that, working together. Let me reiterate that government is committed to do everything possible to progressively make higher education more affordable for all, and to fee free for the poor and the working class. While doing this, we need to ensure that the sustainability and development of our university system is intact indeed. We look forward to constructive deliberations today, which will move the country away from the current crisis. Together, let us find a solution that will strengthen our universities and not which will destroy them. I must express my satisfaction that the parents are here to participate in these consultations and discussions. Because for a while, the voice of the parents was not heard. And I believe, Minister, that this gathering is well represented by all sectors in the country, because I believe it is important that all of us should be on the same wave in terms of appreciating the challenges facing the students and what the students are saying, and then consider that all of us, what is it that could be done to address the situation by all, including the students themselves. And I would indeed want to make a call once again that let the students go back to study. I don't know whether you can imagine that if you said, let us not go to school, or nothing happens, it means next year, the young children that will be coming from high school will have no space. In other words, would have created a problem that a huge percentage of our youth that we are trying to make them get empowered will stay, because they will have to allow the ones who would have finished, who would not have finished by then, to finish. And then that will have the chain reaction in terms of space as we try to create more space by having more universities. And therefore, I would wish and pray that this gathering is able to find a solution that will help us to move forward. Together, let us move South Africa forward. Thank you very much.